Welcome back, everyone, to a very special episode of Nintendo Rewind. I am your host, Kody Christian, coming to you from my home, and I'm joined by my amazing co-host, Chris Becker, who appears to be broadcasting live from Lumio City. Tonight, we are celebrating another amazing year of innovation, artistry, creativity, and excellence from and for Nintendo with the third annual Rewindies award show. All of the nominees tonight have been handpicked by our producers and our board for their achievement in gaming. The winners have been voted on by our community members and have been broken by, we broke the games, have been broken by us. Before we reveal the first category though, Christopher, how are you doing tonight? You're looking rather dapper.
Thank you very much. Yes, it took me 4.5 hours to get ready, but that was just cleaning out.
That was just cleaning out. The other 2 hours was appearance. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness.
Let me ask you a question.
Feel free. Ask away.
Okay, so first of all, you listen, I'm doing good. I'm great. Fantastic. Never better. Well, I have been better, but that's not the point. The point is watch it easy. I've been told I say things wrong a few times here and there. Sometimes I'll say something. Maybe I don't say it right. Maybe I do say it right. Maybe I don't. Nobody knows. I mean, who are we to say? No one. There's no way of knowing.
Who could say? Who
yeah,
could say?
There's no way of knowing. There's no possible way of knowing. But what I do know is you told me I don't say something right.
Correct.
And what is it that you say I don't say right?
You incorrectly say pluribus.
And now let me ask you how I'm going to take my earbud out, okay? For 5 seconds, and you say what I say, and then I'm going to put the earbud back in, and then I'm going to say it, and we'll see if it sounds accurately correct. Hey, no demonetization. All right, ready? Go ahead.
What is the word?
I don't know if you said it or not, but
I
so I'm
don't
back.
see the word. I don't know what the word was.
Huh?
What word?
You're supposed to say the name of the show. How
it's
the name of the show. Yeah, but you're supposed to say how I say it when I take my earbud out.
My
and then I'm
apologies.
going to come back and I'm going to say it, and then we'll see if you are accurate.
Okay,
your
take your earbud out now.
How I say it. Okay, ready?
Yep, I'm ready.
Here you go.
Pluribus. You're good. Come back. You can come back now, Christopher.
Well, there's no way of knowing. Okay, I had no way of knowing if I could come back. Okay, so I say it. The name of the show, it's not that I say it this way, it's just the name of the show. It's Pluribus. That's the name of the show. It's Pluribus. I don't know. Pluribus.
It's a pluribus. Oh my goodness, it's so wrong. It's not what it is. It's pluribus. There's an I in between R and B. But we're not here to celebrate.
Somebody in chat wants me to kiss him?
Apple TV. Somebody in the live chat does want you to kiss them. He actually wants you to pronounce correctly. I love you, Nettist. You're really handsome, and I'd kiss you with my lips.
With which lips? All right, hold on. This is the word you're supposed to just read it, or just read it out loud, and then I'm going to play for you.
Okay. I really heavily regret asking you how you are tonight now.
I'm glad I could help. Okay. Read that for me. Okay.
Oh, I don't even know what the second word is. It's bourbon and Toulouse. Is that correct?
Okay. All right. Now, if you give me a second, please indulge me.
You were indulged.
Thank you.
Did you pronounce it Tao Lousy?
Hold on, here it is. The problem is, it was in a message, and I have to get it. Okay. I think I have it. Hopefully, this is the right message I'm playing. Here it is. We'll find out together if this is the right message. Okay, this is how I said it. Okay. Maybe unless this is a different voice message, but this is how I said it. Okay. All right. Here's the speaker. Okay, ready?
I am very ready.
Bourbon and Toll House.
That says Toll House. Bourbon and Toll House. What is Bourbon?
And Toll House. Bourbon.
Bourbon and Toll House. Why are we?
Bourbon.
That voice sounded a little familiar. Who could that possibly have been?
That was who was that just said that?
Yeah, who was that person?
Oh, that was your sister. But yeah, so
I know it's a Nintendo, eh? Says Susie in the live chat.
Nintendo, eh? Yeah, we were picking places to eat, and that's the one I suggested, and that's how I said it: Bourbon and Toll House, and it turns out that's not correct, and I don't think I'll ever live it down. But
I would agree. I would agree. Well, listen, we do have a pretty good show planned tonight, where we are going to be revealing our winners of our third annual Rewindies episode. Our first category tonight is single player. And it is the best single player game. The award for the game that's most responsible for us ignoring our texts, our chores, and our basic human needs. The nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment, Pokemon Legends ZA, and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. This is awarded for an outstanding single-player focused gameplay experience on Nintendo consoles. There are a lot of really, really great nominees here, but by and large, with a gigantic vote of approval from the community, the winner for this category is Donkey Kong Bonanza. This game was probably my highest rated game this year in terms of sheer gameplay. Donkey Kong Bonanza stands out in a way that I think most of the Donkey Kong games do not, and it took the 3D format of Mario Odyssey and turned it into a Donkey Kong game, and finally had that winning game come out in 3D that wasn't Donkey Kong 64. Chris, I know you haven't yet had the chance to experience this other than the demo, but from the demo, what did you enjoy about it? Do you think this one truly deserves its place? I definitely do, as best single player game of the year.
Yeah, I think it definitely does. Just from everything I've seen full playthroughs. Yeah, like you said, I haven't played it, but I have played the demo, and I enjoyed that immensely. So I'm looking forward to playing this in 2026. But yeah, what about you?
No, I genuinely love this. I spent a ton of time 100%ing this game, and it was well worth it. The DLC I've had a little bit on the back burner right now, but it adds so much more to be able to go back in and do, and with the in-game events has been really, really good. Nintendo's just... even third-party developers and publishers and indie partners have been on a kick of releasing banger after banger this year, and so having the time to go back to revisit this game has been difficult, but it's definitely 100% on my list to go back and wrap up some of the Emerald Rush DLC, of course. But genuinely loved my experience with Donkey Kong Bonanza. Highly recommend that game. It is one that I think should be on anyone's console. If you've got a Nintendo Switch 2 right now. Chris, do you want to take it away for our next category, my friend?
My goodness, we've got, single player, you can play by yourself. Sure, that's great. You can watch other people if you want to watch them play single player games. But multiplayer games, you got to know some people, okay? You got to know a couple people. You're either playing with real people you're playing with strangers. You're playing multiple people are playing together, and that's what we're doing here. Now we're going to talk about the best multiplayer game, and I'm not just talking about playing by yourself with two different controllers. No, multiplayer game of the year. Let's see the nominees. We've got Drag and Drive, Kirby Air Riders, Mario Kart World. I tried to stick with the voice. It didn't work. This is Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV. And it turns out the winner is Mario Kart World. Golly. Who saw that coming? I don't know anyone that saw it coming. Besides us, of course, because we have the list of the winners. Mm-hmm. But other than that, who saw that coming?
Who could have?
I thought for sure Drag and Drive had this in the bank. I was wrong. Mario Kart, you're a fan?
I am a giant fan of this game. There is so much that this Mario Kart got right, and really did something different. I think it's difficult to follow up on what is perfection in arcade racing. That is Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. And while that game was here for over a decade, and it felt like it eventually got stale, this was the injection of freshness that I think this franchise needed in a significant way. Mario Kart World came out of the gates just absolutely screaming bloody murder. I'm going to be the best right from the start. But I loved Mario Kart World and my experience with it. The online component of this game is significantly improved. The lobbies of free roam, where you can just kind of explore and drive around everywhere, was amazing. When you have Cal as one of the main characters in a Nintendo game, you know it's going to be good. Like, how many other games can claim that you can play as Cal? Not many. I can assure you of that. Cal for Smash. Let's just put it out there. Cal for Smash. But I loved the take on this. The amount of variety in the way that you can move around the maps and explore, bouncing off walls, grinding on rails, and just having an amazing time in Mario Kart World was just absolutely stellar. I cannot recommend that game highly enough either. One of the things that I truly appreciated about that game, again, was just that shot of innovation into the series that was desperately needed. Ignore the fact that it's $80, you know, $50 if you get it with the bundle. It's a genuinely good time. But Christopher, what is your take on Mario Kart World? Is that a must play for you eventually someday?
Mario Kart World, I'm sure it's going to be one of those games that everyone just assumes everyone has it, so we can all just play together. So I'll probably eventually get it, but it's not on my top priority list to playing it. Yeah,
everyone will end up having that game. It will be at the echelon of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, where every console pretty much has a copy of Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. But no, it was an amazing time, an amazing game. We're going to go into our next category. This category is Best Nintendo Remake or Remaster, the award that proves nostalgia is a powerful force. But come on, guys, it's Nintendo. Nostalgia is their whole business model. And the nominees for Best Remake or Remaster are Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, Super Mario Galaxy, Super Mario Galaxy 2, and Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition. The winner is, recognizing excellence in crafting a new vision for an old game, a little ditty that we like to call Super Mario Galaxy 2. You thought I was going to say Diddy Kong. No, it's not Diddy Kong. No, this was Super Mario Galaxy 2. This remake and remaster came out as kind of a bundle pack this past year, where you could get both of the most amazing Wii games that it came out and in one convenient package. But I think arguably the thing that made this unique is that Super Mario Galaxy 2 was just not present on the Nintendo Switch family of systems. And it's wonderful that literally we are like maybe 3 games away from having every Mario that could possibly appear on a Nintendo console actually on Nintendo, whether it be through remakes, remasters, bundled packages, maybe through your NSO subscription. But amazing game. Super Mario Galaxy 2 stands the test of time. I think a lot of people would argue that it's the better of the Galaxy games. But what about yourself, Chris? How do you feel about Super Mario Galaxy 2? Congratulations to Super Mario Galaxy 2. What about yourself, sir?
Congratulations. Yeah. Mario Galaxy 2, I mean, it added Yoshi. What more do you need? It, for sure. I feel like we're going to get every game on the Nintendo Switch family of systems. But yes, Mario Galaxy 2, big fan of Mario Galaxy 2, and I'm glad to see that it beat out Donkey Kong Country Returns HD.
You know, I'm going to be completely honest. Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, I think, was my pick on this list. I think it was my vote whenever I went in and voted for the best games. And I had a really good time with Donkey Kong Country Returns HD, and it's a great game. But I think the people have spoken, and Mario Galaxy 2 is the better of the 4 that were up for nomination.
Exactly. You know what? These people know what they're talking about sometimes. You know what? Next up, we got another category. This category, it was so old and it ran so poorly, we had to get a Switch 2 edition of it. And that's what this category is. The Nintendo Switch 2 edition award for the best Nintendo Switch 2 edition game. We've got Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild, Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, Legend of Zelda Kirby and the Forgotten Land, plus
Could you imagine?
World. What?
I was like, could you imagine if all the nominees were Legend of Zelda games?
Yeah, Legend of Zelda. Yeah. And finally, Super Mario Party Jamboree plus Jamboree TV. And we had a winner. And you know who that winner was? That winner was Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Bum, 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 bum. I think it won because of the GPS app on the phone. I think that's what it was that did it in. I feel like people flip-flop back and forth about what they like more, Tears of the Kingdom or Breath of the Wild. But it looks like here we are here. Tears of the Kingdom won out. How do you feel about Tears of the Kingdom beating out Breath of the Wild?
Personally, I think it's an earned win. I've been a strong proponent that Tears of the Kingdom is the better of the Switch era Legend of Zeldas. Between Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild kind of created the mold, and then Tears of the Kingdom improved the mold, and then broke that mold and said, we're never going to go back to this genre ever again. No, I'm kidding. We don't know what's on Nintendo's forefront of innovation. But Tears of the Kingdom, I would argue, is the much more impressive game, in a large, very impressive way. A more concise story, a more direct story. They did an amazing job with the Switch 2 edition. Adding in the GPS mode was huge. Getting around on the map, adding in the ability to bring in other people's builds into your game, giving you the commentary in the background for while you're playing through it. It is a amazing experience, and it is significantly improved by having it on the Switch 2 in 4K, 60 frames per second, amazing resolution, and made that game perform in a way that I think in everyone else's minds it had already kind of performed this way. But when you actually see it in person, you see the improvements that were made here. This Switch 2 edition definitely earned in terms of whether or not it is the best addition to this console.
For sure. Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. Congratulations. What do we got next?
Oh, well, on to our next category. We have Best Nintendo Classics Edition. The moment Nintendo says, remember that game you loved? Good, you can have it again, but for a monthly subscription price. Meanwhile, I'm just going to be paying in nostalgia. Our nominees are Mario Paint for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System, Nintendo Classics. Legend of Zelda Wind Waker for the GameCube, Nintendo Classics. Donkey Kong, also known fondly as Donkey Kong 94 for the Game Boy Nintendo Classics. And Fire Emblem, The Sacred Stones for the Game Boy Advance Nintendo Classics. This category celebrating the addition of the best game to come to Nintendo Switch Online and the expansion pack. Christopher, I gotta tell you, man, this one, I am super surprised out of all of the editions that this one got the win and pulled it out. But via the community vote, the people have spoken and they know what they like. And when you ask them what they like, I can tell you, it is a very specific thing that the people like. The people know what they like, and it is Mario Paint for the Super Nintendo. That is the thing that changed this, and I think what made this the most interesting for people is that this is the best utilization on the console for Nintendo Switch 2 mouse controls. And not only did it give us mouse controls on the Switch 2, but when this game launched, they actually gave us mouse controls on the original Switch by connecting an actual mouse to it to control this game in the way God and Shigeru Miyamoto intended. It is a unique experiment in creativity. It has some mini games that are included in here, but for the most part, like, you've got a music producer, you have an art program, you have a coloring book, you have so many things that you can do in this game, and it's just such a unique experience. And I think the vast majority of people did not get to experience this when it launched, and to give them the opportunity to experience this now, today, is such an achievement in ways that I think video game preservation needs to take a look at. This is a good way to go about it and get people's hands on something that maybe they didn't get the chance to experience. But what about you, Chris? How do you feel about Mario Paint?
Oh yeah, love Mario Paint. Not only just the idea of being able to use the mouse controls, or if you want a real mouse, but just the idea of like getting games like this, like between this and the Virtual Boy coming, Nintendo doesn't mind giving us the weird stuff. I'm excited for when they give us the CDI Zelda games, you know?
Oh yeah, they're coming. Philips CDI, Nintendo Classics. Come on now, let's get them on this console. What is your next category, my good sir?
Listen, I'm glad you asked, because every once in a while you'll be over there, you'll be like, is it that thing out tomorrow or not? I don't know. Is it time to just shadow drop a new app? Maybe. I mean, are you looking at the store? This is all things that the mobile apps provide. And let me tell you something. If there's not an app, how is it mobile? Okay? So, I would say the best mobile app, let's get into it. We have a couple of nominees. That was a dud. But we've got a couple of nominees including
crowd clap. The lights are shining on the crowd out there. They're saying clap and applause, please.
Yeah. Fire Emblem Shadows, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete, Nintendo Today, and the Nintendo Store. Well, guess what?
What?
Only one of these can win, and that is Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete. Because it wasn't complete until they said it's complete, and now it is, in fact, complete. They went ahead, took the free-to-play game. It's no longer running. So they were like, let's just bundle all this stuff together and call it complete, and bada bing, bada bang, bada-ow. Threw it in there, and that's where we are today. Very exciting. Very exciting. Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete. Just give us the new Animal Crossing already, for crying out loud. Okay, what did you think of Animal Crossing Pocket Camp?
I loved Animal Crossing Pocket Camp when it originally launched. Lucky was like my camp chaperone. He was my boy. He went around with me everywhere. He's what sparked my love for Lucky at the time. And when they announced Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete was coming out, there was a part of me that breathed a gigantic sigh of relief, because I knew the grind was over. Because the original launch, you know, say what you will about it, microtransactions, but there were a lot of them that were available at the time for you to be able to spend your money on. If you wanted to get, you know, Leaf tickets to be able to buy a special tent or an amazing house, or maybe you wanted to bring in an amenity, spending some money on Leaf tickets was huge. They ended up adding things like the companion that would harvest things for you while you're gone and go around and pick up, you know, sticks and leaves and fruit and get it all together for you, so that way you could complete your missions when you came back to the game. So all of those microtransactions went away. And when they brought out Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete, it was the full experience with no cap on needing to get XYZ things to be able to unlock specific things. It was a stellar move that there was I speak about this as an Animal Crossing Pocket Camp contest winner. I have the actual lunch bag that you can get from them, and they only gave away 100 of those, and that may be an exaggeration, but I ended up winning one, and I loved that game. I put a lot of time into it, and it, for the longest time, was the only Animal Crossing between New Leaf and New Horizons. So this was your experience if you wanted a modern Animal Crossing game, and I thought they did a really amazing job with it. And then turns out they wanted to keep it continuing, and the performance on this was good. This was the community vote, as far as that goes, who ended up pulling this one out for us. But heavily recommend it if you haven't experienced it. I do believe it is it's a $20 investment now to be able to get the complete version of this. But again, you're not paying microtransactions, and I know I spent well over $20 Animal Crossing Pocket Camp when it was originally out. So that being said, I would 100% check that out and congratulate Animal Crossing Pocket Camp and the mobile development team for winning that category. So
yeah.
Up next, we have the best non-gaming moment, which I know is ironic because we are at a gaming awards show for something that wasn't gaming. But you know what? It's called Range. The nominees, please. And they are the Nintendo Switch 2's reveal, the Super Mario Galaxy movie trailer, the Close to You short film, and the reveal of the Zelda actors. This award recognizes the best moment that isn't a video game from Nintendo. And our winner is the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2. This was something everybody waited with bated breath for when we were in the large rumor mill that was going on. And by the time the reveal came, I felt like a little bit of the wind got sucked out of its sails because, for the most part, people who paid attention to the leaks and the news, and maybe you were watching this show, got to catch a lot of the details on what that system was going to look like whenever it launched. And you know, that being said, it wasn't all that different from all the factory photos that were coming in. But I don't think it took away from the surprise that was added into there with Mario Kart World, the next generation of Mario Kart coming along with it. I think the reveal of what the C button was, the showing that there was a microphone that was on the console that would be used, and just this overall sleek design was something that was impressive. It was the biggest thing that I think everybody in the Nintendo fan base was waiting to see. And I think this is well deserved. Chris, how do you feel about the reveal of the Nintendo Switch 2? Did it meet your expectations? Did it show the people what we wanted to see? Was it a bit of a letdown? But, you know, I don't think there's anything we can disagree on in saying that this was the biggest non-gaming moment for the year, correct?
Yeah, definitely the biggest non-gaming reveal. I don't know if I think part of it that hurt it was not only it was the Switch 2, so it was basically just the Switch 2, so it's more of the same, and so the reveal didn't quite hit, and everything like leaked ahead of time pretty much, so it kind of didn't really hit as hard as the original Switch release, even though some of that stuff leaked where they were like, oh, it's going to be online, you know, I mean not online, but like a portable and a home console at the same time. But yeah, not quite the same. But you know, they tried, they did their best, and it definitely was the biggest non-gaming moment for Nintendo this year.
Mm-hmm.
For sure. Let's see, next up, when Nintendo isn't releasing games, if you want a game on a game card,
key card. Oh no.
Yeah, if you want a game on a game key card, these studios got you. And this, most of these studios, that's what the third parties are here for. This is the third party game of the year. The nominees are Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition, Split Fiction. Don't forget about this one. Brace yourself. I'm going to say it all in one breath. Inazuma 11, Victory Road, Nintendo Switch 2 Edition. Turns out it wasn't that long.
It was a pretty short title.
And Star Wars Outlaws. And our winner is the one that wasn't a game key card. That's Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. How do you feel about Cyberpunk winning? You have Cyberpunk.
I do. This was one of my most look forward to ports coming to this system. Granted, it wasn't an all brand new experience. Our only real good brand new experience that had came out at the launch of the system. I mean, you had Fast Fusion, you had Mario Kart World, but then on the sidelines, we had probably one of the most technologically advanced achievements in gaming, and that's getting Cyberpunk to fit on a regular game cartridge from Nintendo. And that game has been awesome. It is a big, big game. It visually is beautiful. It is impressive the amount of choice that you have in this game. It is one of those games that I consistently recommend to people who are looking for something that they can sink a ton of time into and a ton of hours into. Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition includes the DLC, it includes the base game, it includes everything that you could possibly want to get out of that game, and there is so much to do with so much customization, and it is a true great RPG in every sense. And I enjoyed my time with it. I really enjoyed my time with it. I still have a lot to do in that game because that game is huge, and our slate has been huge this year. But Chris, you've played Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. How do you feel about this one taking the win in this category as well, my good sir?
Yeah, I mean, I've played, all the games in this category, and I will say the fact that Cyberpunk 2077 came such a long way from launch to where it is now, that it's nice to see that this one ended up winning with everything that they've done to help fix it and get up the performance, and now it's on the Switch. It goes from having such a rough launch initially to now the Switch 2 launch being one of the best games at launch. So
that is typical of CD Projekt Red, so they typically release a buggy game and then make it the best game that you could possibly ever dream of.
Get there eventually.
So I applaud their tenacity, and congratulations to CD Projekt Red and Cyberpunk 2077 for taking home the win in this category. We now go into the Indie Game of the Year. This is the award for small teams, big dreams, and extremely questionable release schedules. And the nominees are Hollow Knight Silksong, Hades 2, Deltarune Chapters 3 and 4, and The X is Silent Ball Pit. These games, all of them, every single one of them, I think are important. Are amazing games, and so did the community, because this was a category that had a tie in it, and we as the board decided to make the decision on who was going to take home the award in this category, and of course it's going to be none other than Hollow Knight Silksong from Team Cherry. I think everyone, in the same way that we were following the rumors for Switch 2, we were all waiting with bated breath to see how long the joke of when is Silksong coming out in this Nintendo Direct all for the last 3 years it seemed like, and when it finally came out, it met those expectations handily, and I think that is something that cannot be said for all releases. Not looking at you, Metroid Prime 4. But it is one of those things that, when you have so much hype for a game to the point that it literally breaks the Steam store and it makes the Nintendo eShop stop, you know that game is going to be huge and it's going to be big. Is this game for everybody? I don't think so, because it is very hard. But is it a game that deserves its place as the best indie game of the year for the 2025 Rewindies? 100% in my opinion. But Chris, I'm going to throw it to you. What's your opinion on Hollow Knight Silksong?
Hollow Knight Silksong. I mean, all just like the category, all the categories, these four are all great games. So the fact that Hollow Knight Silksong won, it's just, I mean, I couldn't even believe it. How much I enjoyed it compared to how much I kept trying to get into Hollow Knight and kept falling off of it. But then playing this one, I just didn't want to put it down, didn't want to stop. And so, yeah, I'm glad, I'm glad to see that it won.
Absolutely.
Shout out to it.
Shout out to recognizing the game that delivers the best experience across all creative and technical fields from an independent developer. Hollow Knight Silksong, Team Cherry. You guys get a very well-deserved win from the community and from us at Nintendo Rewind. We are going to go into the big category. This is the big one. This is Nintendo Game of the Year, and I cannot take full credit for this joke because the joke that I had written was awful, and then Chris improved it in every way. So this category is for the games that are so good that even your grandchildren will be paying full price for these games someday. And your nominees are Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, Kirby Air Riders, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. And Chris, this is a big one. This is a big one.
This is a big one.
Listen.
Yeah.
Man, tell me about what am I listening to? You tell me.
I'm just saying, there's so many games from Nintendo. Well, not so many, but these 4 games.
There are several games from Nintendo.
There are several games from Nintendo. 2 of them racing, believe it or not. And then one where you're just rolling around in wheelchairs, but that's not even in here. But, I mean, one of them had to win. How do you feel? I mean, I know. Let's just get it out there. What do you think?
Man, there are a lot of good reasons to recommend every single one of these games. As we saw earlier in the show, Donkey Kong Bonanza taking home the best single-player game experience in here. Mario Kart World being our best multiplayer experience for the community. Pokemon Legends ZA being a nominee in best single-player experience. And Kirby Air Riders being a nominee in best multiplayer experience. All of these games deserve their slot for best Nintendo game. These were the best of the best that Nintendo put out this year. Surprisingly, or maybe unsurprisingly, all of these appearing on a Switch 2 console in addition to a Switch 1 console. But the winner, as voted on by the community, is none other than a little ditty, I said it again, known as Mario Kart World. This game is one of those things that I think art direction, music especially, the soundtrack in this game is stellar. The gameplay is amazing. This is one of those games that you can also just hand to anybody in the family and they're going to understand it and they're going to take off and play it and enjoy it and do incredibly well with it. It is approachable from any age, from ages 1, that's probably an exaggeration, all the way up to age 99. And overall is the game that I would more than likely recommend anybody take a chance on this console. It is the main must-have game, especially if you intend to take your Switch 2 places and want to make friends and enjoy playing together. But even beyond that, the world is brimming with content and stuff to do in it. Question block panels, trick challenges, all these different things add up into this overall experience that I think Nintendo is going to continue to iterate on in the future. We will always have a Mario Kart. Will they always be as amazing as this or Double Dash or Mario Kart 8 Deluxe? Who knows? But what I can say is Mario Kart World unequivocally, as voted on by the community, 100% deserves this award for Nintendo Game of the Year. And Chris, I've said enough. I'm going to let you speak a little bit on the matter too.
Okay, thank you. Because I will just say, I thought for sure, can I just jump up on the stage and say Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment was robbed?
Stop.
I'm going to let you finish. I'm going to let you finish.
No, Kanye, get down. Get down, Kanye. What are you doing? Oh,
yeah.
Goodness.
I feel like there were 4 games here, but it was really just down to 2 games. But Mario Kart World, here we are. I mean, I think the cow pulled through in the end.
Cow did pull through. The power of cow. For Game of the Year, Nintendo Game of the Year, cow is the winner, actually. That's what it is.
You're the cow. I will say, I feel like if Sakurai were to put cow in
Kirby Air Riders?
In Smash Brothers, cow would always be on a cart. Like, cow would never be off the cart.
Yes. How else is he going to get anywhere? Cow's always just been an obstacle before they got into a cart, so.
That's true. They were just moseying on down in the meadows.
Oh, my goodness.
But yeah. We've got more games to talk about.
We still have 3 more categories in this. This is awesome. Take it away with our next one, my good sir.
Most anticipated third-party game. There's the first-party games, but what game from third parties are we most excited about? And I'm not talking about all those games not coming to the Nintendo Switch 2. I'm talking about the ones that are. We've got games from last year. We've got games from the year before that. We've got games from the year before that. And then we also have some games that are out next year. Let's go ahead, dive into most anticipated third party. The Dusk Bloods. Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate. My goodness, we've got Elden Ring Tarnished Edition. And of course, we've got Resident Evil Requiem. Boom, boom, boom. Drum roll says the winner is Resident Evil Requiem. Now, Resident Evil 9. We got some new stuff that just leaked that's going to be at the Game Awards. And Resident Evil shot up my most anticipated list when it was first announced. I love what they've been doing with Resident Evil lately. I'm looking forward to seeing what they're going to do with this. I like how they try to blend like some new story, but also have it sort of tied into some of the old story that happened before. So I'm excited to see where they go with it. And I'm glad to see that this one won out. And not only that, but it's coming out day and date with the other systems, which is pretty wild. But yeah, how do you feel about Resident Evil Requiem winning?
Resident Evil Requiem is one of those that definitely is on my list to watch people play because I am a big scaredy baby, as many of our listeners already know. But it ranks up there really, really highly. I love the Resident Evil franchise. I love watching other people play the Resident Evil franchise for me. So I'm looking at you, Christopher. You're going to have to pick this up and stream it. But that being said, Resident Evil Requiem, I think this is one that is... First off, on the list, it's one of the few here that wasn't a port. We had the Dust Bloods that was going to be an all new game that's created for Nintendo by From Software, and then we had Resident Evil Requiem as the standouts for a new iteration in an IP that maybe pre-exists. But Final Fantasy VII Remake Integrate, Elden Ring Tarnished Edition, both of those. Very excited to see those come out. Those have a very close release date as far as Final Fantasy is concerned. That one comes out in January anyway. But very excited for Resident Evil Requiem. I think this win is deserved as voted on by the community 100%. I back this one up. Resident Evil Requiem is going to be a good time. It's going to be a great time. It's going to be a fantastic time. So... it's going to be a recreational time, a requiem-rational time. I'm going to workshop that one. Let's take that back.
We'll get back to that next year.
Yeah, we'll fix that one next year. We're going into our second to last category. This is the most anticipated indie game. The category where we all pretend that we're patient. It's okay. You took your time, Team Cherry. The nominees are Mina the Hollower, Well Dweller, Neverway, Cult of the Lamb, Woolhaven DLC. This category recognizes an announced game that has demonstrably illustrated the potential to push the gaming medium forward from an independent developer. Chris, again, I think we've got some stuff that is going to be very exciting there. My personal pick on here maybe didn't win. I'm not going to say what that is, but I think the winner in this category is still going to be a great choice. Chris, how are you feeling about the winner in this category as well? Very similar feelings to mine?
Very similar feelings. Perhaps similar feelings. You tell me, at what point am I going to see you running your cult next year?
Oh, man. It's going to have to be sooner rather than later. Cult of the Lamb, the indie darling, coming from Devolver Digital as their publisher. An amazing game. For those of you guys who maybe missed out on the hype that was Cult of the Lamb in its original launch, it had Twitch integration. You could go and be a cult follower and join people's games online and watch them stream them and participate in these kind of roguelike-esque dungeons where you're going out, you're scavenging for materials to bring back to your cult to help them survive and help them live long lives. This isn't even the first DLC that we've seen from it, but our most anticipated indie for this is the Cult of the Lamb Woolhaven DLC. I think this is the fourth story and game expansion that's hit this franchise since it started. Am I correct on that, Chris?
Wait, sorry. What did you say? It's the what?
I believe this is the 4th story expansion that has hit this game since it launched too.
Yeah, the other ones were like they just kind of updated them, and then they like some of them put like new costumes and stuff, but this is the first like massive big update that yeah, all the other stuff kind of just added sort of cosmetics compared to what this is. But yeah, I'm very, you know what, I love Cult of the Lamb. Did you like Cult of the Lamb?
I did. I enjoyed the heck out of Cult of the Lamb. It kind of scratched that Binding of Isaac itch that I had since Binding of Isaac had kind of gotten a little bit stale at that point whenever it came out. And I was so excited for this. And then the management of my cult and making sure that all of my little sheeple stayed in line and stayed alive and got all the things they needed was just like that cherry on top to the thing that I liked about that game. So
yeah, they got nice and old. You could sacrifice them. Yeah,
absolutely.
Marvelous. You know what? We've got something else.
What do we have?
We've got another award.
Oh, one more award? Let's go, baby.
One more award. We have another award, and every once in a while, we've got Nintendo will announce games that are coming out, and they'll be like, hey, guess what? We got some games coming out, and guess what? You're going to want them. You're going to get them whether you want them or not. And that's what this is. The most anticipated Nintendo game. My goodness, here we go. We've got Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. And I'm not talking about the one I'm wearing right now. We've got Splatoon Raiders. We've got Pokemon Pokapia. And then
Pokapia.
Hey, Pokapia here. And then we've got Yoshi and the Mysterious Book. And now, out of these 4 games, we've got one winner. And let me tell you something. I'm a big Splatoon fan. I know you're a big Splatoon fan. And apparently so is everyone else, because Splatoon Raiders won. Splatoon Raiders is the most anticipated Nintendo game. I tell you one thing I'm anticipated about: finding out what this game is about. what are we doing in this game? That's what I'm anticipating about.
Oh my goodness. It looks like survival crafting, and that's what gets me excited, is that this is the first spin-off from this franchise. You take your Marios and you get WarioWare. You take your Pikmin and you get Hey Pikmin. You take your Pokemon and you get Pokemon Pokopia. But you take your Splatoon and you get Splatoon Raiders and a whole lot of no answers about what's going on in that game. And I love that about this game, that there's this sense of like wonder, like what are we doing? But it reminds me a lot of Raft. It reminds me a lot of survival crafting games that we've fallen in love with over the years. And it's one of those things that I think is going to be unique for Nintendo, but specifically for the Splatoon franchise too, to kind of see what we can do in this new spinoff from their mainline Splatoon IP. And we love Splatoon around here. Splatoon Raiders, amazing title that I think every one of us is really looking forward to seeing what it actually is when it launches. What about you, my friend? How are you feeling about Splatoon Raiders? Are you excited to dive into what it's going to be, or are you just kind of like, pass?
Oh no, I'm very excited. I'm just glad it is not a 2D game for the 3DS made by a Tui. We don't need a Hey You Pikachu or a Hey You Pikmin. Hey Pikmin. We don't need another one of those for
Hey
Splatoon.
Big Man. We need that. We need Hey Big Man.
Hey Big Man. Yeah, you just talk to Big Man. You know what? We don't need a new Seaman game. We
Wait,
got
what?
yeah,
Hold on.
the Dreamcast.
Hold on.
That was the name of the game.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
But yeah, I'm just glad to see we got it.
Yep.
So much good.
So many good games that have released this year, and just as a recap,
And more to come.
So many more to come. As a recap for our winners tonight: in Best Single Player Game of the Year, Donkey Kong Bonanza; in Best Multiplayer of the Game of the Year, Mario Kart World. In Best Remake and Remaster, Super Mario Galaxy 2. In our Best Nintendo Classics Edition, Mario Paint. Our Best Mobile App, Animal Crossing Pocket Camp Complete. Our Best Non-Gaming Moment, the Switch 2 reveal. Our Best Third-Party Game of the Year, Cyberpunk 2077 Ultimate Edition. Our Indie Game of the Year, Hollow Knight Silk Song. Nintendo Game of the Year, Mario Kart World. Most Anticipated Third-Party Title, Resident Evil Requiem. Most Anticipated Indie, Call to the Lamb Woolhaven DLC. And Most Anticipated Nintendo Game, Splatoon Raiders. Congratulations. Let's get some claps in the chat for those people. Thank you guys so much for joining us for this special presentation, our third annual 2025 Nintendo Rewind Rewindies, celebrating the best of the best that Nintendo had to offer this year. If you enjoyed tonight's episode, please make sure that you subscribe to stay with us. Follow us over on Twitch. We are live Tuesdays at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time every single week. We'll be kicking off Season 2 of Nintendo Rewind next Tuesday night, 9:30 p.m. And our first episode is going to be the first in a 4-part series, our top 101 Nintendo games of all time. You're not going to want to miss it. You want to know what we're doing. You want to know how we feel about video games around this place. Come back and hang out with Chris and I. Chris, thank you so much for joining me tonight and getting all gussied up for this event.
Thanks for having me. You know, I'm glad I could get all dressed up and got this weave on. I might be partying the rest of the night.
Absolutely. Join us. Join us for the after party where we do nothing but lay in. But we love your faces. Please remember, be kind and rewind. And we will catch you guys on the flip side. Peace.